How you doing there? Welcome back to Babylon Talmud. Today we're studying Daf Yud Zayin, Daf 17 of Masechta BavaKama. Friends, let's learn. Let's learn in the memory of the Yidden who have sacrificed their lives so that we can live in Eretz Yisrael. Yeah, I just read about these people who were killed over Shabbos. Yeah, wow. Yeah, mamish, people of all ages are fighting on behalf of so that the Yidden can live in Eretz Yisrael. Yeah. So, anyways, so let's learn in memory of, and for the Aliyas Neshama of anybody who was killed protecting Am Yisrael. Alright. Okay, we're starting the second parak of Masechta BavaKama. Okay. So we did a whole bunch of Yud Zayin Amud Aleph yesterday, so we could start the new parak today. It says the Mishnah Ketzar Regel Muedes. So we've been talking about regel, right? That an ox that is just walking, and as it's walking, it breaks stuff. So that's considered regel. And that regel is breaks stuff, kind of just doesn't even notice it, right? It's just walking and it just steps on stuff while it's walking. Now, of course, regel and shein, you're only chayiv b'reshus hanizak, not in reshus harabim, in reshus hanizak. So says the Mishnah, tell me more about regel. The shaber derech b'derech ilucha, it is muad to break stuff as it's walking. A behema muedes la'alech kedarka ule shaber, and a behema, an animal, is muedes to just kind of be walking around and break stuff. And the Gemara is going to ask, isn't that the same? Aren't the first two lines of the Mishnah Betzim the same? If it was kicking, or if there were tzroris, right? Or as it was walking, it kicked up some pebbles, some rocks, and it broke vessels. So in both of those cases, mishalim chatzi nesek. It's going to be chatzi nesek, right? If it kicks, that's like a tolada of Karen. And if, as it's what, chatzi nesek tzroris, this is, it's not the easiest thing in the world. But anyways, if it's just kind of, so regular regel is it's just kind of walking and it breaks something while it's walking. But if while it's walking it kicks up some, not intentionally, but just as it's walking, some stones get kicked up. So then, and it breaks epis, that's what's called tzroris, right? It didn't directly cause the damage, it kind of kicked up a rock which then traveled and caused some damage. So that's what's called chatzi nezek tzroris. Okay. Darsa al akli v'shibarto. Okay. If as it's walking, so darsa al akli v'shibarto, so if it stepped on a vessel and broke it, and then after it stepped on a vessel, v'nafal al kli v'shibro, I guess the shards fell on another vessel and broke that vessel. So the first one that was stepped on, so that's regel, so that's nezek shalim. When that one then went and traveled and went and hit another thing and broke that, well, that's tzroris. So the second one is chatzi nezek. So he's going to be chai for the first vessel, nezek shalim. For the second vessel, chatzi nezek. Hatanagolin, chickens, muadin la'alich kedarkan u'leshaber. Chickens are muads to walk around and break stuff. Okay, I guess that's regel. All right. If there was something tied to its feet, shahaya mahades, or it was mahades. All right, which we're going to learn the Gemara's betzim. It's going to end up being tzroris. Mishabes akelim mishalim chatzi nezek. So it's going to be chatzi nezek. The Gemara is going to explain this stuff about the chicken. Okay, says the Gemara. Amna Ravina l'Ravos. Says Ravina to Rava. Hainu regel hainu beima nu. the first two lines of the Mishnah are basically the same, right? We said Ketzal regel muedis l'shaber b'derech chilucha, behema muedis l'chidaka of l'shaber. Basically, both of the first two clauses of the Mishnah are saying the same thing, that if the animal's walking and breaking stuff, so that's regel. So Omar Lei, so Rava responds to Ravina, Tana Avis v'katani toladis. Well, regel is the av, and then behema is the tolada, right? Meaning regel is davka the av, and then we mention, I guess, other. What does Rashi say? V'sefer katani tolados abehema mu'edis la'alech kedak l'shav begufa begufa with its body, v'saira. I'm reading Rashi with its hair, v'shalev shaleh, or with like its package or something. So meaning, so the first one is so regel is mamish regel, which is the av, and then we talk about tolados if it's walking and it bangs into epis, or things like that. All right. But if that's the case, that meaning we're saying that the first part is the av and then the second part is the tolada, seifa de katani. Well, then on daf yud test when we learn hashein muedes, habehema muedes. So there's a similar structure to the next Mishnah, that shein, and then we say behema. So my avos, my toladasik over there, both of them are just talking about eating stuff. So there's no avos and tolados. It's just talking about shein, it's talking about eating, and behema, eating. So it's betzim the same thing. So so Rave was joking around, and he says to Ravina as a joke, and he says to Ravina, Ono shanoi chada, I already gave one answer, vachni chada, nu. Now it's your turn. You give an answer. Not every joke is meant to be funny. V'taima mai nu. So then what's pshat in the second Mishnah? Because it's not avos and toladis, because they're both talking about eating. So Rav Ashi says Avashi tana shein dechaya v'katani shein debehema. Well, first we met. So when it says ketzad, what do we say? Hashem. What the ketani Hashem muedes. What does it say over there? It says ketzad Hashem muedes lecho saroila behema muedes lecho peris v'yokis. So when the Mishnah opens up and says ketzad Hashem muedes lecho saroila, that's talking about a chaya, and then it says behema muedes lecho peris v'yokis. Okay. So back in our Gemara. So where am I? So shein dechaya, tana shein dechaya, v'katani shein debeima. So when the Mishnah opens up, it's talking about the eating of a chaya, and then it mentions the eating of a behema. Where am I? Where am I? Did I skip? Amalei ana shana echad v'achni echad v'tayim mai amavashi tana shein dechaya v'katani shein debeima. Sagadati Chamina, because after all, I may have thought to say V'shilach es be'iro, ksiv says V'shilach es be'iro, behema, and be'iro is a reference dafka to behema. Apparently, it's the targum of behema. So behema in chaya lo. So I might think that shein is dafka by behema, not by a chaya. So kamash malon. So therefore, it's teaching the chaya b'chla behema that no, it's not just behemas, it's oichit chayas. But if that's the case, that really behema is the ikr, and the chiddush is the chaya is included in the behema. Hami boile limisne bereisha. If that's the case, behema should be before chaya, because behema seems to be the ikr. So hayda asile midrashe chavivale. Same for the Gemara, an answer that we've seen before. That the truth is that the Mishnah would prefer to give priority to its own work. Meaning, behema is written in the Torah, but the chaya comes from a drasha of the chachamim. Right? They're proud of their work. They want to display their work. They want to display their drasha about the chaya first. If that's the case, so Reisha Namis, then say the same thing by Shane. Meaning, listen, first mention habehema ma'aleches kedarka, and where does the aleches kedarka l'shaber, whatever it was, right? They talk about the body and the hair and the this and the that. Those are the drashas. Shouldn't those come first? So that what's going on outside? That when it comes to Shane, I don't know what I just said. Wait, I may have confused the two. Dag nabbit. The second mission is talking about Shane. Our mission is talking about Regel, right? So when it comes to Shane, they're both obvious, right? Right. Both by the Behema and the Chaya. We're talking about eating, simply eating. So therefore, so look, all things equal, we would prefer to prioritize, to give precedence to the one that came from the drasha, because we're proud of our work of the chacham. But in our case, by regel, where we're opening up with an av, and then we mention the tolados, shavik av vitani tolada. Why would we deprioritize the av in place of the tolada? No, of course the av comes before the tolada. Alternatively, I did the salik miregel, pasach beregel. Alternatively, since we were talking about regel before, when were we talking about regel before? Wait, what? When were we talking about? Oops. When were we talking about regel before? Wait, what? It's talking about BavaKama and Tetzvav Beis Tana a regel muedes velo tnana behema. And it didn't mention the behema. It said davka a regel muedes. Okay, right. The Mishnah had said, where am I? Which okay, fine. And it mentions regel there. It doesn't mention behema, so because it's coming from there. Because we're talking about regel, now we're talking about regel here, so we mentioned regel, not behema. Tanu Rabbanan, the Abbas taught. Behema mu'edes lahalich kedarka u'l'shaber. Okay. So, a behema is mu'edes, to just kind of walk around breaking stuff. Ketzad, how is this? Behema shenichnas l'chatzor nizak. So, if Ruvain's ox goes into Shimon's chotzer, veizika begufa der chilucha, and it's just walking around and bumping into things and breaking stuff. V'sayra der chilucha, or its hair is getting stuck on stuff and pulling stuff and breaking stuff. Be'ukav shalel, or its saddle is like knocking into stuff. V'shalav shalel, or it's, I think it's like a package or something, and I guess that package is knocking into stuff. Or the bit that's in its mouth is somehow biting stuff. Or the bell on its neck is belling stuff. Or a donkey, b'maso, with its burden. Mishalim nezik shalim. So in these cases, mishalim nezik shalim, right, it's ba'atzim regel. So you pay nezik shalim. Okay. Right, it's regel b'shus hanizak. Sumchis omer says sumchis tzroris. That when it comes to tzroris that we talked about in the Mishnah, right? We had said if an ox is just kind of walking around and then it kicks up epis while it's walking, and that epis hits epis, and then the epis that got hit with the epis breaks. So that's what's called chatzi nezik tzroris. Says sumchis that actually tzroris is not chatzi nezik, it's nezik shalim. V'chazur shaya nover ba'ashpa, or if you have a hog that is hogging around in the garbage, v'hezik, and it damages, mishalim nezik shalim, he pays nezik shalim. Hezik, if it damages pshita, obviously it should have to pay nezik shalim if it damages. So then, no, ela ema hitiz v'hezik mishalim nezek shalim. Okay, wait 1 second. All right, fine. Okay, where am I? So v'hit is misham nezek shalim. tzoris. It's nezek shalim. Period. So says Sumchis that in the situation where there's tzoris be'etzem, right? Either the ox is walking around and some rocks get kicked up, or you have a hog that's like hogging around and it is hogging stuff all over the place, and some of that stuff hits other stuff and stuff breaks. So says Sumchis that it's nezek shalim, because Sumchis disagrees with the Chachamim, whereas the Chachamim say that chatzi nezek, right? Nezek is chatzi nezek tzoris. Wait, what? Tzoris is chatzi nezek tzoris. But Sumchis says that take tzoris is nezek shalim. Tzoris man chashmai. But one second, nobody was talking about tzoris in that brisa. All of a sudden, Sumchis starts talking about tzoris being nezek shalim. So chasur mechsov achikatone. There was epis missing in the brisa. Tzoris kirachayu nezek chatzi nezek. That tzoris, says the BavaKama, says the Chacham, is chatzi nezek. V'chazu shoynover ba'ashba. And if you have a hog that was hogging around in the garbage, v'hitis, and it hogged some stuff all over the place, v'hizek, and when it hogged some stuff to some other place, it broke something, which is tzoris mishalim chatzi nezek. Sumchis Omer says, Sumchis, tzoris v'chazu shoynover ba'ashba v'hitis v'hizek mishalim nezek shalim. Sumchis disagrees and says, no, when it comes to tzoris, it's not chatzi nezek, it's nezek shalim. Tanu Rabbanan, the Rabbi said, Tanigolim, chickens, mafrichin b'makom l'makom, that were flying around from one place to the next place, v'shibru kelim b'chanfeim, and they hit stuff with their wings. That's betzim regel, right? They're moving around and they broke stuff while they're moving around. Misham nezek shalim. So it's nezek shalim. Biruach sheb'chanfeim, but if the wind that they produced when they were flapping about, that wind traveled and broke epis, well then that's tzoris. Misham chatzi nezek, Sumchis Omer nezek shalim. Okay, so machlokas BavaKama and Sumchis. BavaKama says chatzi nezek, Sumchis says nezek shalim. Tani idach, another brisa. Tani golim shoy mahadsin al gabi isa, chickens that were dancing around on a dough, val gabi peris, or on fruits, uvitinfu, and they messed them up, or nikru, or they like pecked at it. Misham nezek shalim. Then it's nezek shalim, it's regal. Helu offer, but if they were, if they kicked up dust, tzoris or rocks, and then the dust or the rocks cause damage, misham chatzi nezek, so then it's half damages. Sumchis Omer nezek shalim. Sumchis says nezek shalim because it's machlokas BavaKama and Sumchis by tzoris. Tani idach, we have another brisa. Tani will show you mafriach mimakom l'makom, a chicken that was flying around from place to place. V'atzas ruach mitachas knofov, and some wind went from underneath, from its wings. V'shibur sakelim, and the wind winded some stuff. Mishalim chatzi nezek, so it's chatzi nezek because it's tzoris. So here we have a stam bryce that seems to be like the rabbis. Rav says, Rav b'shlomo sumchus ksaver kochol kigufo dami. Says Rav, I understand the opinion of Sumchis, who says nezek shalim by tzoris, because he's saying, look, kochol is kigufo, meaning right, gufo, right? If a, let's say, an ox is walking and steps on something, so we're saying that it's nezek shalim. And also if it kicks up a rock and that rock hits something, which is not gufo, but it's kocho, it came from the animal, and then traveled and broke something. So that is, so Sumchus says, look, it's one and the same. Kocho is nezek shalim. I'm sorry, gufo is nezek shalim, so is kocho. Everything's nezek shalim. El Rabbanan, but I don't understand it. If the rabbis ike gufo dami kulin nezek boy shalim, if the rabbis treat tzoris, if they treat kocho ke gufo, well then it should be nezek shalim. Vilav ke gufo, and if it's not like the animal damaged it, well then ke gufo dami chatzi nezek nami lo l'shalim. Then why should he have to pay anything? So the Amar Rava says, Rava, look, the olam ke gufo dami, really kocho is ke gufo, but it's not nezek shalim because v'chatzi nezek tzoris ilchso gmire la, that chatzi nezek tzoris is halacha l'Moshe misinai, that it's not nezek shalim, it's chatzi nezek, and Sumchis doesn't have that halacha l'Moshe misinai, I guess. Okay, fine. Let's go weiter. Amar Rava says, Rava, kol shebezov tamei b'nizakin mishalim nezek shalim, kol shebezov tahor b'nizakin mishalim chatzi nezek. Says Rava, kol shebezov tamei. A zav is an avatuma. Don't worry, we're not, this isn't a big Tuma Sugya. So Zav is an Avatuma. If a Zav touches another person, so then that person becomes a Rishon Latuma. However, if a Zav, picks up a ball and throws the ball at somebody, the person does not become Tame, right? Because I guess technically speaking, when a Zav picks up a ball, the ball becomes a Rishon Latuma. A Rishon is not Matame Adam. So therefore, if he throws it at somebody, that person will not become Tame. So again, so Amarav says Zav Kol Zav Tame, in any scenario where a Zav would be Matame somebody, for example, if he touches the person, so Ben Zakin Mishalim Nezek Shalim. So also, if like an ox directly steps on something and breaks it, that would be Nezek Shalim. Kol Zav Tahor, but if it, by a Zav it would be Tahor, like if he picks up a ball and throws it at somebody, the person would be Tahor. Well, also Ben Zakin Mishalim Chatzi Nezek, so that would be Tzroris, and it would be Chatzi Nezek. V'Rava Tzroris also Lashminon. What is Rava simply coming to teach us about Tzroris? I mean, we know about Tzroris. Lo, Rava Egla Mosheches B'Karon Kumash Malon. What Rava is teaching us is that, for example, if you have a heifer that is schlepping a wagon, by Zav, there's something that's called Tumas Mizras. That if a Zav sits on Epis, so then that thing becomes an Avatuma like him. So also if he's in a carriage and the carriage rides over some vessel, rides over like a shirt, so that shirt becomes an Avatuma. But if it kicked up a rock and that rock hit the shirt, then it would not be Tummy. So, and as we were saying that the same thing Be'etzem applies by the carriage as well. By damages, by Nizak and Tanya Kavasi de Rava, we have a Bryce like Rava, Behema, Muedis l'Shabbat B'derech Hilucha, that a Behema is Muedis to break stuff while it's walking. Ketzad, how is this? Behema Shirichnas to the Chatzor Nizak, an animal goes into the Chatzor Nizak, Ve'izika Begufa, and damages with its body, Derech Hilucha, while it's walking with a Saira, or with its hair, Derech Hilucha, while it's walking Be'ukav Shela, with the saddle, B'shalav Shela, it's package or something, with Pum Yeshabapia, with its bit in its mouth of Zukshab Tzavara, or the bell on its neck, V'chomer B'maso, or a donkey with its burden, Ve'egla Mosheches B'karon, or an egla, calf that is schlepping a wagon and it runs over a kli, V'shalim Nezek Shalim. It's going to be Nezek Shalim. Friends, we can stop here. I said that that today's daf was going to be shorter than yesterday's daf. I haven't edited yesterday's daf yet, so I don't actually know how long yesterday's daf is, but I reckon that this one was much shorter. It was pretty short. So we started the second parak today. Kate Sadarego. We started learning this concept of tzroris, right? So of course, regel, if an animal steps on something when it's just kind of walking, so that's going to be Nezek Shalim, assuming that it's in the Chatzor Anizak. Tzroris, if it kicks up something, so then that is a machlokas Tanakama and Sumchus. Tanakama says that it is Chatzi Nezek, and Sumchus says it is Nezek Shalim. Friends, peace out.